Hey everyone, this is Paul, and you are listening to episode 12 of the Generation Latino podcast, guys. I hope you're having a great day, and I hope you had a great spring break. But today we're going to talk about the power of cinema. I grew up raised on movies, entertainment, pop culture, and movies really shaped and shifted the way that I view life, how I view social issues. And I think there's so much power behind cinema. There's so much power behind a character that you may relate to or a story that is being shown on the screen, on a movie screen or a TV screen. So today, I'm going to talk about 3 films that changed my life. And maybe you've heard of them. And maybe while we're talking about this, maybe you're going to be able to think of some films, movies that changed your life and shifted the way that you view things or see things. This episode is The Power of Cinema. All right, guys, so the power of cinema. When I say the word cinema, what comes to mind? Do you think of being at the movie theaters? Do you think about being at home, comfortable, eating your favorite snacks, watching your favorite movie, things like that? And I think there's a lot of harsh things that happen in our world, in life, right? We live in a very chaotic, unpredictable world. And for me, movies were such a great way to escape. It was such a great way to get away from some harsh realities of life and what they can bring. And I know for me, as a child, it was my escapism. It was something, movies, cinema were something that it was almost like hope. I would watch a movie, specifically some of my favorite ones, and it was a lifeline for me. And maybe for you listening, the same thing for you, right? We didn't have the luxury of going on vacations as a kid or me being in a summer camp. We were raised on TV. And it's nothing against anyone. It's just what it was. It was just the only resource we had. And even that was a privilege. But today, I'm going to talk about 3 of my favorite films that changed my life, that catapulted everything that I do as an adult. And I still watch them to this day. Maybe you've heard of them, maybe you haven't. But the first movie that really shifted my life and how I view women, how I view feminism, how I view gay culture is a movie called Truth or Dare. It is a documentary. It gives you the background on Madonna's Blonde Ambition tour in 1990. When I saw it, I was probably around 13. I remember being at our local video store. It was Hollywood Video at the time is what was like the big one. I know it was that or Blockbuster, but we were more of a Hollywood Video family. I remember seeing the cover. She's in her blonde, curly, short hair. She's wearing all black. She's on a bed. And all I see is in red letter, Truth or Dare, Madonna. I'm like, okay. And I'd heard of Madonna here and there, but I was young. I was still a preteen, so I didn't really know much about her. I remember renting the movie. It was a VHS, actually, and my mom had no idea what it was, so she let me rent it for whatever reason. And I remember watching that documentary and seeing a woman in charge and taking charge of every single thing. When you think of a definition of a true boss bitch, and I say that respectively, Madonna, she's talking to the lighting, the sound person, the dancers, the caterer. She's talking to everyone, and she has such control of everything around her. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, who is this woman who's this fearless leader, and knowing the power that she has, the center of attention. She's the star. Everyone's there to see her. She's so aware of it. And what was interesting was that she was in charge of every decision, everything she was just in charge of. And I remember thinking to myself, wow, this is a woman in charge. And that was the first time I was really introduced to anything LGBTQ plus related. I saw two guys kissing, the dancers, and she was so loving to sexuality and different personalities. And that movie, at the age of 13, really shaped my confidence. It shaped in me who I am. It made me realize that I will continue to live in my own authenticity as a queer Latino man. And it brought that to me. There was a switch. And I have never looked back. I've been unapologetically me. I have stood up for everything that I believed in. I have stood up for other people when they didn't have a voice. I have been at the forefront of women and them owning their power and understanding how powerful they are. So, I grew up with a single mom, which was a big part of that. But watching Madonna, and whether you're a Madonna fan or not, you have to appreciate the power, the doors that she swung open and just was unapologetically her. For me, that movie changed my life. And I may be too strong sometimes for people. I may have too much of a strong personality, but you have one life and you have to be your authentic self. And of course, respectful and, well-mannered for myself. When I saw that, I said, no one is going to ever take advantage of me. And that is one thing that I hope you who are listening realize. Do not let people take advantage of you. And one thing that I learned from that documentary is that no one took advantage of Madonna in that film or in her career. You realize, man, this woman was really in control. So whether you like her or not, she's a great person to kind of study and realize. But anyone who knows me knows that I don't put up with bullshit. I do not put up with people being mistreated. I don't put up with predators, predatory behavior, injustice. I do not. But the second movie that changed my life, in no particular order, but this movie, I saw it, must have been 7 years old. I was young. It is Walt Disney's The Hunchback of Notre Dame. And I know a lot of you out there probably have never even seen this movie. But if you have not seen this movie, I highly recommend it. It is dark. It deals with Catholicism, religion, talks about predatory behavior, abuse of the church, abuse of power, demeaning to women. And it was just a movie for me when I saw Quasimodo, who's the main character, if you do not know. They're throwing eggs at him. They're calling him names because obviously he looks different. And his quote unquote master, his keeper, his father figure, is allowing him to get treated like that as he's begging, can you please stop? He's like yelling out, master, master. And someone next to him says, hey, can we stop this? He goes, no, we need to teach this guy a lesson, is what his master says. And I hate the word master, but that's what he calls him. Then this beautiful gypsy named Esmeralda comes up and everyone stops. The master, the villain of the movie, if you will, tells her, like, you need to get out of there now, like, get out. And she says, no, like, you cannot treat people this way because they look different, because they act different. You cannot just humiliate them. And for me, that was the first time as a young boy that I truly felt remorse and empathy. And he's tied down, Quasi, and she gets a knife and cuts the rope that he's tied down on. And she yells justice with her fist up. And for whatever reason, that line Justice has stuck with me to this day. And it is a movie, a scene, a story that has truly changed my life. I work in nonprofit. I got my master's in nonprofit management. My vision and mission in life is to serve underrepresented communities, to be a voice for them, to continue to fight for them. But that movie was the catalyst. Even now, if anyone who knows me knows that I cannot deal with injustice. I cannot deal with people misusing their power or having this predatory type of behavior. I cannot stand it. I have left jobs because of it. I have gotten into arguments, altercations with people because of it. I do not know why people feel the need to treat other people badly, abuse power, take advantage. I don't get it, but that movie, guys, if you have not seen it, I'm telling you, you got to see it. And it's dark. It's a dark Disney film. And it's not one of the most popular Disney films, but it's a great one. The animation is beautiful, but that movie really changed me. It left a mark on me that has never gone away. And it started this steamroll when I was little, being like, well, no, that's right, that's wrong. Very diplomatic, right? I'm a very diplomatic individual. That's what started it. Quasimodo. Who would have thought? But guys, those two movies, phenomenal. But the last movie, certainly not least, it's a biopic. It is a movie that my mom actually had told me to watch. I was 13 years old. She was like, have you seen the biopic of Tina Turner? And the movie is called What's Love Got to Do with It? And I said, no, I haven't seen it. And after I saw it, I'm like, why would you have me watch this? But if you want to see a movie about resilience, about fight, about tenacity, willpower, hope, you have to watch What's Love Got to Do with It, starring Angela Bassett. This movie touches on every single topic. Abuse, predominantly abuse, right? She's in the movie. You're seeing her get abused. You're seeing her she gets sexually assaulted in the movie by her husband. It is rough to watch. But what was interesting is when I was young, I saw domestic violence growing up. I've been very open about it in this podcast. And I saw my father being abusive and mistreating my mom and his kids and lying and cheating and being physical, all that. But when I saw that movie as a 13-year-old boy, gay boy at that, and her getting out of it and becoming the Tina Turner that we love, God, again, it's the power of cinema, the power of seeing a woman, a Black, beautiful woman, come out of this abuse, this toxicity. She has blood all over her face. She is beaten up when she decides, I'm no longer going to take this from you. I'm no longer going to allow you to abuse me, to treat me like shit, to take advantage of me. And when she fights back in that movie and she's running through the sprinklers in the movie just to run away, and she gets to a hotel and she's begging the guy in the movie to just please give her a room, and she will pay him back. That scene, now I watch it and I goosebumps, tears, because if you've ever seen a woman or man, but in the movie it's Tina Turner, have you ever seen a woman, a friend, a mom, an aunt, a cousin really seek for that type of help because they are so desperate, it's going to be hard to understand. But when I saw Tina Turner and What's Love Got to Do with It, it changed my life. It made me realize no one should treat you like that. That you should not be anyone's doormat. That you should not be anyone's punching bag. Literally, figuratively, you should not. No one should lay a hand on you. So, watching What's Love Got to Do with It, watching The Hunchback of Notre Dame, watching Truth or Dare, those 3 movies, if somebody were to say what movies changed your life, it was those 3 movies. As I look at my life in hindsight, it kind of all makes sense, right? It all makes sense, and everyone goes to the movies, watches a movie, puts on their Netflix, puts on their Hulu or Disney Plus or HBO Max. People watch movies to be entertained. Some people watch movies and they changes their life. One movie can spark an interest. It can spark an idea. It can help you think, you know what? She got out of it. I'm not going to deal with this guy. She's in control of her life and her career. I want to be in control of my life and my career. Again, I'm someone who, if I watch a movie and I love the message behind it, I want everyone to see it. Like, I want to take you to the movies to see it. I need you to get the message that I got. And honestly, that's also what the Barbie movie did for me. I grew up with women. I grew up with my aunt, my grandmother, my mom. And as I was watching Barbie, I'm sobbing, not just with the scene with America Ferrera, which is a great scene. In the scene where the maker of Barbie says, I created Barbie so that women could be whatever they wanted to be. And there I am, like, boo-hooing in the theater because it touched me so much. Well, I think of my niece. I have several nieces. I think of all of them. As an uncle, as a man, I want my nieces to have the opportunity to do what they want and not feel like they can't voice their opinion because someone's going to take advantage of them, because someone's going to abuse them. So I love the Barbie movie. I love the empowerment of it. And while we're at it, I'm going to talk about Wicked. I loved Wicked. I saw it several times in the theater because I loved it so much. Both the characters are so beautifully written. John Chu did such a great job. But what that movie did for me, and I think we've all been an alphaba at one point in our lives. I mean, we have. We've been humiliated, made fun of, talked about. If I could tell you the amount of times as a young boy, a teenager, that I've been called the F word, that someone flat out called me a faggot to try to demean me, to try to make me feel less than. But your words are not going to define me. Your words are not going to dictate my decision making. So when I saw Wicked, and I was very familiar with Wicked because I saw the live show, but when I saw the movie, it just again, the characters, those 2 women, and for some people, it's a little bit too much. But everyone who knew me knew that I was obsessed with Wicked, obsessed with the movie, obsessed with the songs. But guys, what movie characters do you gravitate to? And why do you think there's so much power behind cinema when we think of characters of movies? Even TV shows, right? I'm always gravitated to a certain type of character. And it usually is a strong woman who's had to battle her way through life, who's had to find a way. Yeah, that's what it is. But I wanted this episode to talk about cinema and movies and the power of them and just give you some insights on maybe you've seen the ones that I've talked about today. I'm sure you've seen a couple of them at least, or at least one. But what do you like to watch and put on just to be comfortable or just to get that confidence going? I would like to know what you watch when you need to be empowered, when you need to be motivated, or just escape. But that to me is the power of cinema. It shifts your life. It makes a young queer kid say, you know what? I'm going to get a master's in nonprofit management. You know what? I want to major in theater. You know what? I want to be on the stage. That's what cinema is all about. It's about changing people. It's about influence. But I want to thank you so very much for tuning in. And if you like this episode, please feel free to share it. I love chatting with you all. I love motivating you all. You have to continue to find what motivates you. I want to thank you so very much, and I will see you on the next episode.